Hi everyone, Steve here. If you are the junior or the parent of a junior, it is time. It is time to start thinking about creating the college application list. And this list will ultimately contain at least 10 to 15 schools on average, which is a lot, but your child may not get into all of them, and you do want to have some options at the end of the day. So I'm going to talk about safety schools, target schools, and reach schools and how many to have of each. Safety schools are schools where your child will almost certainly gain admittance, maybe 80 to 85% likely. These shouldn't be schools that are like a worst case scenario kind of thing. You don't want your child to be miserable going to these schools, but these should be very realistic options where your child could still see themselves being happy. I'd recommend having at least 3 of these. Then you want to have your target schools. And these are schools where your child has a good shot of getting accepted, where their numbers are right on point. But of course, having your numbers right on point doesn't mean you'll automatically gain admittance because, of course, there are just lots of students applying. And sometimes it's not about your child not being a good candidate. It's just about someone else maybe being a better fit or having a connection or something like that. You want to ideally have at least 5 to 7 schools in this category. And then finally, you have your reach schools. And these are schools where your child's numbers may be below the median. Maybe your child just isn't competitive for one reason or another. Maybe the extracurriculars weren't as strong as they could have been. But hey, you never know. It never hurts to try. All you have to lose is the application fee and a little bit of time. These schools, I would say, again, maybe 3 to 5 in this category. You could apply to every single Ivy League and maybe only get into one. You never know. It's a lot of work and a lot of time, but it could be worth it at the end of the day because either your child gets into a higher ranked school or a more desirable school, or your child ends up somewhere with significant merit scholarships. And sometimes you can negotiate these scholarships and place schools against each other. And you only get into this position by having multiple options and by casting a wide net. So I encourage you, create this college list, keep it ready, and start thinking, of course, about what essays your child will have to write for each of these different schools. I did recommend to have a lot of schools in mind, but you also do want the application load to be bearable. And one way you make it bearable is by reusing college essays for multiple schools, which I will be covering in the future. And you also keep it reasonable. So if your list is growing to 15 or 20 schools and it's too much, then yeah, of course, cut it down a bit. I'm not saying to go overboard with it. At the same time, you do want to have options. In my recommendation, you'd want to have at least 10 to 15 schools on that list of yours. The other way to make it manageable is to start early. It's never too early to start working on your college applications. It's never too early to start thinking about the college essays. And so the summertime is a great time to get them out of the way. So plan ahead, think about how to structure the time so that you're not up late hitting send or submit on the application at 11:59 p.m. Anyway, hope you found this helpful. If so, please subscribe to be notified of new episodes as I release them. Please feel free to reach out if you need anything at all. Steve@collegeadmissionstoolbox.com. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.